Okay, hello and welcome to this very special vacation episode of Star Trek Adventures. Rather, that is to say, a Star Trek Adventures one shot here. We are taking an off week from Aegis while we have some players out, and so this will at least carry us through today's session. It will possibly go into next week as well. Um, while we are waiting here, I would like to welcome our newest player for the time being. Howdy there, our everyone's favorite bit of Starfleet personnel.
Hi.
Yes. Anyway, um, so he will be joining our some of our usual cast of characters. Panda, who you may recognize in Aegis as Colonel Lillian Sharp, our own Lieutenant Eula Shira, played by Craig, and Aleska Romanoff, played by Brian. They will all be taking on some very slightly different roles in our very different time period here. Suffice to say that this the exaggeration with exaggeration here, this should be treated as the loosest of canon in many ways. So we'll just go from there to give everyone a bit of an idea of the setting. We are actually playing in a 24th century game. So, as opposed to Aegis, which is set closer to the era of Enterprise, this would be, in terms of Trek media, this would be closest to the time period of Lower Decks in about 2382. So, I hope that all of you enjoy what we have to do here, and we're just going to get started. And so, all of your days start with that usual goddamn sing-song announcement. There's a three-tone signal that plays off at the start of your day, and that is when you get the very, very excessively cheery voice say, "Good morning, this is your captain speaking. Uh, I hope that you're enjoying a nice time aboard the Rainbow Sands, the pride of Rise's pleasure cruiser fleet. We're just making a nice way our way through the Beta Quadrant here today, holding steady at warp 7.2, although we'll be dropping out for the occasional bit of impulse charge and letting those solar sails spread out and catch a little bit more of the exotic matter out there. And while we're there, you'll get some lovely views of the Milky Way. You might even see a distant sign of the Basin Rift if you go to the observation deck and use one of the uh, uh, Lobi Consortium's viewers. They do take strips of latinum too, so just be sure to see a friendly. Be sure to visit the kiosk, and if that's what you wind up wanting to do. Until then, the beaches on the island level are nice. The holosuites are at your disposal. Just be sure to get those reservations carefully. And anything else comes up, our uh, our good faithful crew is always in a position to serve with a smile. So you all have a nice day now. Um, and yes, that the captain's words, great as always with such a notion, and under the special circumstances here, I am taking two threat for everyone here because today is just gonna be that kind of day.
Today is a good day.
Yep. So
Just
everybody,
serve customers.
exactly. Everybody, I'm gonna ask you, give me just a flat D20 roll, if you please. You can use the little menu in the top left on the side to roll. So there's uh, There'd be Craig's. There's something from one of our characters. Still need two more there.
God damn it. Yes.
All right. So let's start with the lunch rush on board the Rainbow Sands, or rather the breakfast rush. By this time, some people have probably still had complaints about a slight bit of lag, depending on when they got to Risa, where the port where the vessel launched before it set off. Um, but by and large, most people have adapted pretty well. So tell us a little bit about how Ramsey is starting off the morning there, Greg. I see what you did.
Yeah, so uh, it'll be up nice and early, sarcastically replying to the captain's horrible, overly cheerful announcement, and then go to the kitchens in his chef's whites and prep his team for the upcoming breakfast service.
Okay, all right. Um, the crew is uh, steadily getting to work. They are a truly as with everyone else on the ship, it is something of a motley crew of sorts. All made to look nice and presentable, at least for those that would be forward facing. However, the um, you found there are variable levels of talent that come through as well. There are at least a couple. I'd say composition wise, it's a pretty good mix. You might have a couple native Risans, a couple Bolians, a few humans. Um, and uh, they're just largely bracing themselves for what will be a day of quite a rush. Uh, so I don't know if you wish to give a rousing speech to start off with. That is your prerogative. Otherwise, we can just get into the events of the day, pretty much.
I think you'll just check in on the rest of the staff, make sure that they're okay, make sure that they're all dressed properly, hair nets in place,
Mm.
all washed their hands, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well,
Guess
you're
I guess he'll be wearing a beard net too.
indeed, so that would make sense for our very bearded but pristinely dressed Tellerate chef, which for the audience there and for everyone else, this would be Ramsay.
Is it a net or like a mini little force field um, blocking it?
I would guess probably just a net.
Fair enough.
Uh, no room for any such no room for the failures that a force field might introduce.
Fair, fair.
Yes. So the yeah, things are going to proceed along. Things are going to proceed along, and the breakfast service will get started. Um, the first the first orders they start coming in. It's simple enough. Various grain and protein type things. A few semblances of more fruit oriented dishes, depending upon the preference of the customer. I would say it gets to about, oh, I'd say maybe an hour or so in when the first mistake comes up, as a plate was or a plate is sent back to the kitchen. Uh, Mr. Ramsay, a
What is it?
uh, there's somebody sent back their eggs. They were saying oh, geez, it seems like they wanted Kitarian eggs, and we sent them Taspier eggs, is what they're saying.
Katarian eggs. We them Tasprian eggs.
Yes, yes. They hold up the plate, and you actually see something moving around in the eggs.
Those do look like Tasprian eggs. Who can't tell the difference between Katarian eggs and Tasprian eggs?
Um, One particular bullion looks like he wants to just reverse backwards through the bulkhead and phase elsewhere at this point.
I'm over here.
Oh, yes, chef.
Over here. Over here.
Oh, he moves up to you.
What are these eggs?
Uh, they're oh oh they're Tasperian eggs.
Tasprian eggs. And do you know the key difference between Katarian eggs and Tasprian eggs?
Um, the well oh that one actually. Oh no, that one seems alive. That should have been. I thought I'd cooked through more. Oh no.
Yes, there shouldn't be anything moving.
Yes, chef. The bullion just snaps to attention.
Do it again. Do it properly. Don't rush and check the eggs you're using. And the next thing we'll be doing is using chicken eggs.
Oh. The bullion shudders with some considerable revulsion. Um, and he goes off to start his work here. Um, yes. Outside of that, there's when the next order comes by, there's something right off. It's like this is okay. The waiters there looks and says, "This feels less like an order and more like a mathematical proof, chef."
What are you talking about?
Um, well, he hands you the order is taken down, and it is very exacting measurements for bacon pancakes and very precise notes in terms of flavor profile and essentially like just a full set of details dictating exactly how this individual wants the breakfast to come out.
Does this customer want to come in and cook it themselves?
I don't believe so, chef.
What does the menu say?
Um, well, it does say that there's a pancakes and bacon option, but nothing precisely to these exacting sort of special specifications.
I'll look at the exact. Is there any kind of dietary requirements that would require such precise culinary expertise in this?
So far as you know, there is no dietary protocols that would dictate the. There's no such dietary protocol which would dictate the exact diameter of a pancake.
In that case, they'll get the same bacon and pancakes that we serve everyone else.
Yes, chef. and with that, the waiter will just leave it with you, and well, you get the sense
We'll
that
serve it with a ruler so you can measure the pancakes.
do you apply any sort of personal touch to this one?
I'll cook it in the normal way you would cook bacon and pancakes.
Hmm. So, it you set to work with the finest bit of non-replicator food, and I'm going to say, just for the sake of fluff, if you want to give us a roll here,
Sure.
let's
What on earth do I roll for cooking?
let's call this control and medicine.
Control and medicine.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would
Right.
cooking is one of those interesting nebulous kind of things where I feel like you could rationalize other disciplines like science or engineering at times. And
It's a multidisciplinary subject, just
indeed,
like bartending.
indeed so. So what you're
Uh,
doing will make sure that this is edible, which is at least the standard that you have set up here.
and I assume my cooking technique is a good focus to use.
Absolutely.
Okay. Eh.
All right, and with 2 successes, uh, with the ruler that another chef, that the Bowlane chef from earlier, that is after they finished making a proper plate of eggs, came out with. Um, Apparently, they have decided to take you a bit literally. You find that the pancakes are just about right anyway, and the strips of bacon you found were mostly even enough and have cooked down to a fairly close level. Um, the ruler remains next to the plate, although as the waiter comes to put it on the tray, did you want this on there, chef?
No. But if he complains at all, send him back here. Or them back here.
Certainly, certainly. And with that, although you get the sense that you get the sense when the waiter later comes by that maybe there's a slight there may have been some grudging sentiment. You for the most part you don't wind up hearing anything from the customer afterwards, and everything seems perfectly fine. At least for
Good.
yeah, yeah. So elsewhere on the ship at this particular point, near the front desk, on your primary job at this point, let's see, we 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 catch up with Julie at this point, who is tending about to her usual duties, at least on her primary shift. The secondary hours afterwards are, or rather, secondary roles that you have. That's more other things that you have to do later. And at this point, the day's kind of started off boring enough. You've been getting this weird sensation of late. One that, in the blur of the crowd, everybody here has a story, and if you focus in, you could probably learn it. But otherwise, it's that strange sensation of just, with so many people here, they're all starting to kind of blend together a little bit.
Okay.
Nothing particularly special about anyone. And the only time that they truly come into their own focus is when they come up to you. And that is never a pleasant experience at this particular role because it is usually about a complaint.
But somebody has to take care of those complaints. And
M-
that's my job.
Most
And I
certainly.
do it with a smile.
Yep. and it is one of those
I'm going through my positive self-identification statements in my mind. I can solve that problem for you.
Hmm.
As per the employee manual, page 56, subparagraph 2.
Spectacular. Um, I take it then you were prepared to rise and meet the day when the captain's announcement came.
Oh, she loves the captain's announcements. She records them.
Spectacular. Um, so, as you go about you're going about the day, going through your affirmations and just enjoying the day when you feel that buzz, that haze of those less than optimal vibes. There's at least one customer along the way who is coming along with some complaints, and you need to make things right in the world.
That's right.
As you look over, you see what appears to be a gentleman of a very magenta hue. You'd guess slightly older, um, short cropped, but not receding, but not with a receding hairline. Very short kept hair, and a rather garishly colorful outfit to go with it. And he's coming with an absolute. You'd say it's just shy of a pout at this point in terms of
Well,
expression.
I go into my kung fu customer service where life slows down, and I quickly want to identify if there's anything significant about that outfit he's wearing, because sometimes a compliment up front can change a circumstance.
Hmm.
So I'm
Uh,
using the computer to see if I can identify, like where it comes from or.
yeah. Well, if you want to do that, I could give you a roll with, let's call this insight and command, and I can have the ship's computers and command assist you here.
That's perfect. So I'm rolling, what is it again? Insight and
Insight and
command.
command. Yes.
Okay, insight and command. And that's 2 dice.
The ship will not
Can
be
I use
terribly
my
helpful.
customer service focus?
I'll let you use it here.
Okay, sweet. Because that is the weapon in this game. Okay, I'm rolling now.
Oh dear.
Okay. I got a success, but a complication.
And there's not much there's not really momentum to start off with here. So the question is, do you want to take that as a narrative complication? Would you prefer to buy it off with threat? Um,
Well, that's a party decision. My instinct would be that we usually buy them off with threats, so, that's what we usually do.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, buy it off with
Part
threat then.
part of the fun is all the NASA that's going to come in this session. So yeah, go
That's
for it.
right.
yep. So the gentleman comes up. I will say that you rolled well enough to recognize some of this appears to be it appears to be some of the latest fashion out in this is actually probably some of the more Alpha Quadrant worlds. So there's it's somewhere near the colonial frontier of the Federation as such, or near probably um, you would guess kind of closer to the worlds that would be closest to the Ferengi, the Zenkethi, um, and generally oriented towards the Breen, perhaps, but they are a far, far ways off.
Well, Breen fashion always includes a helmet that distorts your voice, so I know that there's no Breen influences in
Yeah,
this.
certainly. It's more. This is a far galactic, far northwestern corner of the Federation. If you were to look at the sort of standard galaxy map and place.
But as he approaches me, I compliment him on his northwestern galactic fashion, and if I can identify the designer, I will mention it to him.
Oh,
Totally disarming him as he approaches the customer service desk.
yeah.
You,
Your
you would hope.
your move somewhat discombobulates him for a moment before he shakes his eyes like, nope, I thank you. Wait a minute. No,
And
I,
what can I do to make your cruise better?
I need to register a complaint, and I want my massage. I came.
Well, I think I can make all those things happen for you.
That's good because
And she beams with a smile. Her smile, her name isn't just sunshine. It beams out of her smile.
huh, yeah. He'll look to your name tags like, Ju- Julie Sunshine. What kind of name is that? Uh,
Well, there's quite a story behind that, but I can tell you that at another time.
I'll
It
go.
was given to me. I was a refugee as a child. But you said you had a problem with scheduling
I
massage?
I did. I went into the masseuse and he waves around a pad. I had this voucher from an earlier cruise, and I was attempting to renew it so that I could get there. The masseuse looked at it, looked at me, looked at a computer, and then just gave me the rudest treatment of my life, kicking me out and cursing my ancestors.
Wow,
I
I'm
demand that this coupon be recognized, he says, holding up the pad to you.
Well, let me see that coupon and see what I can do for you.
Um, you look at
And
it. Uh, I'll ask for one more command insight, and I will say difficulty on this task is 1.
okay. Okay, and this is Insight Command again.
Yep.
Okay. Difficulty 2.
No, just
I'm
1.
not applying, but I'm not applying my customer service, right? This is to
No,
solve
customer
the problem.
service would make sense here. You are using it to
Awesome.
help him figure out his exact problem. 3 successes, so that will give you 2 momentum. Would anyone like to volunteer to hold on to momentum today?
I'll collect it.
Spectacular.
And with my 3 successes, I'm gonna get him a little something extra, like like scented oils, or
Oh,
an option for half price to
oh,
upgrade to the chocolate massage if he wishes.
oh dear.
Uh,
Well, before you do any of that, when you look over, you realize that this actually expired probably 2 cruises ago. This voucher hasn't been good
oh,
for some time, so the masseuse would have had grounds to say, no, I'm sorry, this isn't.
Uh,
what's the policy on a situation like this?
and does it, if we try to allow it, do they take it from our latinum payments?
All good questions. You A part of you says you might need to kick it up to a manager here. You might be able to take your own initiative on this and do something. The You recall conflicting parts of the rule book that would give you different sort of instructions, and so the option at this point is kind of yours.
Okay, well, so I'll look at him and say, okay, so this expired 2 cruises ago, but I'm going to
Wait,
take this.
what?
I'll show him. I'll show him the dates and stuff.
Oh,
But what I'm, but
oh,
what I'm, but what I'm
oh
going to do.
my! God, I've made a fool out of myself in
No,
front of
no,
you.
no, don't
This
worry.
is.
Wait.
Oh
I'm gonna
no.
see if I can get this approved for you, okay? Just the person who has to approve this is above me. So why don't I'm gonna contact you. I've got your information. Go get breakfast. They just put it out. The pancakes and eggs are excellent. And I'll check into this for you right now. I may be able to pull this rabbit out of my hat.
You start seeing the man bubble and like shift before you. Give me a actually no, I think with the threat the complication is enacted. The man seems to bud and split off into two identically dressed gentlemen. Oh God, no! I've duplicated now. This is the worst. Oh, and I'm making a scene. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm going to try to reduce his duplications by calming him down.
Okay.
Uh,
Give
there's no bartending equipment nearby me, right? I can't mix him a drink.
Well, you also do have a particular talent which might be useful for this, and I dare say that there's the occasional time where you have a kit just buried away at the ready.
Okay. Then if I think I have that, I'm going to try to stop his duplication by giving him a customer service drink to settle him down.
Oh dear. Well, that let's see. I believe the let me go back here and just double check.
She will open up her portable bartending kit and,
Yep. Why don't you
something
re
in the morning drink, it's probably like the galactic equivalent of a mimosa.
Yep. So I believe that talent would be the special reserve talent, which you'll see in your character sheet there.
Okay.
So,
Okay, special reserve. I will use that then.
yep. Would you like to read that off for us so that
Yes. See if I can open it up here. I can't seem to get it to pop up.
oh dear. Now let me go into the sheet, make sure that's there. But while I'm at
But I do see it. Special reserve is there. It's just I can't get the file up on it.
oh that's odd. I had the text right below it, but I'm suppose there must be some sort of error with the sheet. I apologize for that there, Brian.
Oh, no
Um,
worries.
but the text of it would be that once per scene you may spend one momentum to create an advantage, giving you access to a bottle of alcohol appropriate to the situation. You must
Awesome.
justify its usage.
It did pop up. It did pop up. So yeah, I've got something. I've always got a little bit, especially in the morning, of something mimosa-ish that I can give to a client. So I will attempt to settle him down using presence and command
Mm-hmm.
as well.
And I will go ahead and award you. Well, I will say that with the mimosa, the difficulty for this task, I will reduce it down to 2.
Okay.
Calming a
I
dupler is otherwise very complicated.
I will call upon the ancient bartenders who have trained me and those who walked from before me, and by the power of ancient alcohols and drafts from all over the galaxy, I try to help him.
Spirits, hear me. Oh. Um, so you give your spiel with a drink that you have him probably prepared from behind the desk. Um, And one of the Dupler copies, as he's looking to bubble, takes a sip or rather, he downs a good bit of it. The other one says to him, "How can you be drinking at a time like this? Like, hey, this is actually bad." And he hands it over, and the other one downs like the other half just as fast, and they like pause for a moment, just letting it play on their tongue. Uh, You want to give your performance? Want to give a supplemental calming speech there?
Well, the great news here is that the buffet is open, and I suspect there's some more drinks in that flavor right along that buffet line. And I will see what I can do about getting approval for this.
Hmm. And with that, the two Duplers they start walking up to the point that a Klingon woman passes them and shoves one out of the way. Get out of the way, you honorless. Uh, I don't even care what insult to give you. Patach. That's a good standby. The Dupler recombines and looks and says, "Well, I never. I'm going to the bar." Um, and the Klingon comes up. I uh, I am Karen, and I demand to speak with your manager. You have no honor.
What has come to bother you? What's the issue?
What hasn't on this ship? And the Klingon woman will angrily detail numerous issues, many of which would be well outside of your power to address. But this one's just going to take a little while, so I have no doubt you will smile, you will offer solutions where possible, and
I don't smile as much with the Klingon. Okay, she is a customer service. She morphs around the people she's taking care of. Klingons don't like smiley Earth girls. Okay,
hmm,
you know, unless they're in slave pits. So, uh, yeah. So I'm a little bit more serious and on her level and locking into what she's saying, and I'll tackle the thing that I can most importantly change for this customer.
fair enough, fair enough. So as you go through your day, attempting to fix the situation, we'll cut elsewhere into the ship. More, let's see. I would believe with that role we would be visiting. Well, that's a question. Given that your purview, Pandiv, ranges from the holodecks to the it can range from the holodecks to some parts of the island level, depending upon the activity. Um, even as far like even into some of the well, there's whole decks or whole segments that are committed to different types of arenas. What do you think Celeste would be doing at this point in the morning? I guess first question would also be, how does she greet the morning reveille from the captain?
She greets it sort of just trying to decipher if there's anything relevant in it because she's heard it so many times that it's now not so much of a it's not like heeding it, but more of just trying to just decipher if there's anything of note that she needs to be aware of. Otherwise, just ignores it. Um, and will go about her day when she gets food. She hopefully Ramsay will help her in that. She will make sure that it looks like the most Klingon bravado food that you could ever eat, like a whole hunk of targ, um, and some gocht and some blood wine. But she would also try to mix in some salads, some just some nice well-rounded food for herself.
Would
And she would always make sure that she makes like a solid, proud appearance, strutting herself across the cafeteria before or the food court before finding a nice, quiet place to just eat politely, which probably still gets um, guarded, quote unquote, by her staff. Um, like the staff sort of like eating around her essentially. Make sure no customers can reach her in a polite way. Um, and she'll just eat very quietly, um, take her time, have almost a pristine etiquette, royal etiquette, if one might say, and then go about her day. Which morning might be what would be a good morning extreme sport or just sport thing? Um,
Lawn bowling?
um, let's say that it's the gym. She'll be there trying to she will walk the lines of various machines, exercise machines, and portable or small holodecks, and just give brave encouragement and compliments, but always keep them within 10 feet from the people.
So basically, going for the equivalent of a Peloton type thing, the
Uh,
remote exercise type thing.
yeah.
Spectrum.
Um, yeah, she'll just keep within 10 feet, give brave, Fang showing Klingon inspiration. Uh, you are a prime member for your ancestors. Yes, bend down, make sure you do another 5. You can do it. Um, Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. amidst the uh, amidst the workouts that you were doing, you see one what appears to be a Trill woman who is very slowly and deliberately working with a couple of dumbbells. It, I would say that you've probably seen her in a couple days, just using the simplest of workout gear like that. And she will steadily move up and weight from time to time, but you recognize that she's stayed away from any of the sort of augmented reality or holographic components of any of these things, and she's just very deliberately, very carefully getting this moved here.
Does she, when those weights are used, is it like giving her the sort of workout that she needs, or does it seem more of like a distract, like you know what I mean, like where you just lift like a 5 pound weight, even though you definitely can do a whole lot more, but you're just putting in the numbers, as it were.
Hmm. From the look of her, to truly assess it, I might ask for one more. I might ask for an insight roll, and we'll make this one. I think that medicine would probably apply.
All right. So medicine, insight and medicine. Um, I will endurance training for focus.
Yep.
Let's go. 3.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be enough, and I will go ahead and award you one additional momentum for that. I must be remember about assigning those difficulties or making that above board. So with all of that said, though, Sharp, rather, Celeste, the
Yep.
uh, it seems like it's definitely more of she isn't exactly pushing herself, but it feels different than going a distraction route. It's as if she's very deliberately doing so in order to, like, she is assessing the weight in some manner.
How long has she been here?
She'll,
Do I remember it? There's so many faces, but
yeah.
is she like memorable at all?
she's memorable probably in the sense that she is how to put this. Most of the crowd lives for the revelry of what you are bringing to this to
Right.
their exercise. That like they are here because they are fired up and they want to be even more fired up with a true Klingon warrior guiding their exercise routines. They were here for the extreme Mukbara and all of that. Um, she is like one person who, for the normal exercise hours that she comes in, like, some people will just come in, get their workout done out of the way early, and like try to keep it as no frill as possible. Or some people will choose a more solitary experience, but they decide to augment it via holodeck or something of the sort. Um,
Yeah.
she is making no attempt at going for something that would be more solitary, but she's also not she's not doing what you would expect in terms of timing for that as well. She's in a crowd of people, or she's in when it's fairly busy, and she's just doing the. She's somewhat in her own little world, it would seem.
I will give one last brave encouragement to the person who was complimenting him the first time, and make my way over.
Okay.
And she'll say, "I don't wish to interrupt your regular workout, but perhaps I can give you a few ideas on how to improve, if you so wish."
Oh, she looks up, greets you with a smile. Oh, why,
She gives a fanged grin back.
certainly, certainly. I don't want to disturb the honorable ritual that you're doing here. I can't remember how many people at this point have made their ancestors smile down from Stovacor.
she just she just freezes. Um, well, plenty can be out of character. She's better at this than I am. Like, plenty can be the twinkle in their ancestors' eyes, but perhaps I'm a little indulgent here and there.
Oh,
She will try her best not to shake GM.
yep.
Um, and she'll say, "I didn't quite catch your name. I am Princess Keles, second daughter to the House of Clada.
Oh, oh,
Conra. There you go."
that sounds vaguely familiar. I'm sorry. She will set the weights aside and stand up, and she'll kind of look first. She'll consider reaching out a hand, then she'll consider that for a moment. Oh, geez. Well, I'm technically not on duty right now, so I don't know if the protocol applies. And you're, you said you were a princess? Are you true? What?
Mm,
Hmm. I'm sorry.
nods.
Uh, Connex, not Namiel Connex. Well, I'm here with the Funny Farm crew, as it were, I suppose.
The funny farm.
Oh, just the Starfleet medicals sent a handful of us captains, mandatory shore leave, that sort of thing.
Ah,
You,
well, yes.
I'm sorry, you are in fact real, aren't you?
I certainly would hope I am.
I,
I bleed. She says as she like takes one of her long claws and just sort of like taps or presses into her palm a little bit. Tries not twins. Um, shows the violet blood.
Oh my. Oh dear, that doesn't seem sanitary at all.
Nah, a little blood isn't that big of a deal.
Okay, I suppose that you Klingons do have that bit of redundancy, and she looks like she's pondering you very intently. Some of it, yeah, some of it definitely feels a bit needling here, so you might need to perform for her a little bit. I'd
Yep, yep.
say depending on the way you want to go. Would you prefer to keep up the high octane, warm, encouraging Klingon routine, or would you give more would you be driving more towards the threatening warrior type shtick?
Um, with my 3 insight before, what would she prefer? It seems like.
With that amount of insight, she there's something about her that seems like she is looking for she wasn't looking for interaction before, but now she seems like somebody that likes to needle in at complexity and nuance, and it just wants to kind of grasp something in its full context, which obviously
Which,
means pressing in deeper than you probably want anyone to.
yeah, I'm. Oh God. Let's go with the. I'm gonna default with Klingon. She still has a Klingon, which, by the way, I should add for the audience and for the rest of the party. Kayla is fucking beautiful. Even teeth, perfect size fangs. Um, the her head crest itself seems like it's very symmetrical, very much the sort of like stunning beauty that any Klingon maiden should have. Um, Tall, so on. Um, yeah, I'm just going to go for intimidation. I'm gonna do acting.
All right, so give me presence and security. And if you can pair a
Well,
hmm,
acting. I have acting as a focus.
spectacular.
One
Uh,
success.
yep. So you give maybe a half convincing sort of performance of your more of a slightly more aggressive shtick there. If you want to try and simulate it in any sense, then that is
She'll just like the more focused look, the more she'll like glower and just give like a low growl, like
uh, well, I I suppose I should let you get back to your work. There are warriors, I suppose, that need trained.
well, even medical and other officers need should keep fit. Is there anything I can do as a warrior to a captain?
Please, Namiel, or Nami, if you prefer.
Namiel. Is there anything I can do for you, Namiel?
Uh, well, uh, I that 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 island replica you have a few decks up. That first, that is like actual, real construction, or that I read right. That was an actual recreation of one of the Risan Islands.
Mm, nods.
Is there rock climbing there?
There is indeed. Otherwise, what is the point of such a construction?
If you happen to have a schedule or know when the next class might be, I wouldn't mind that.
My assistant can help out with that. Devora, she says, looking over. Provide this Namiel a schedule of our local recent activities.
And one of your assistants will indeed go about providing a pad with exactly that information.
Uh,
I would imagine a
taking advantage
replicable
of this,
player.
taking advantage, she'll just say, "Now, if you excuse me, Namiel," should give like a grin and think about patting Namiel on the back, think against it, because touching people, and will just stride her way to nearest room of privacy and start shaking and panicking. Deep breaths, deep breaths.
Mm-hmm.
She'll let Jula that she's taken her 10
Huh.
early.
And you will very much get the understanding sort of response. It's like the I imagine that it may even just be as simple as the as a thumbs up emoji.
Well, I'm Julie Sunshine, right? Was the name of
Julie Sunshine, correct.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I will notify her that I'm taking my 10 to 15
Yep.
early.
Got you covered.
Yep. And so else as you
And one other thing, GM. I do not approve. I submitted that, that for validation on that massage coupon. I never approve anything. Okay. One way to survive corporate environments is to make sure everybody else does the approving.
spectacular. Well, as you use somebody else's rubber stamp to provide a satisfying customer experience, let's follow on with our last player in the probably situated in the lowest of decks. Uh,
I thought for comedic purposes maybe I could respond to a maintenance request in the kitchen.
Spectacular. Let's do that. So first off, tell us, how is Demok greeting the day?
Hello, sir! It's a lovely day it is. Um, the mock lives and breathes in the maintenance tubes. Mostly because he doesn't have to interact with people, which his superiors have strictly forbidden him.
Oh,
um, yeah, and otherwise he's keeping himself busy. Every week or so, trying his hand at the Dabo table and losing everything he's earned that week, which leads to his continued employment on the Risan barge.
spectacular. Yeah.
But yeah, he greets every day with a smile.
Yep. It certainly doesn't impair his often bright demeanor, I'm sure. But yes, you get a report that you do get a report that there is actually an error in the an error in one of the kitchens. Let me let me roll on this here.
Oh boy, the kitchen. I was feeling kind of peckish.
Oh dear. It looks as though the replicator is emitting a steady stream of vague. It seems. Oh, sorry, just double checking the thing. Yeah,
All
the
season bagel.
the replicators are emitting a steady stream of what appears to be a strawberry cream cheese. So it is at this point when you arrive into the kitchen and you see that the just bizarre ooze from the replicator, and one chef panically trying to push at the one of the overrides to disengage it. Computer, stop, stop, stop.
Hello, sir. What seems to be the problem?
Oh God, not you. This replicator you fixed last week is on the fritz again.
But you mentioned you wanted more cream cheese and strawberries, so I upgraded it.
Oh, look, we can't have this in the kitchen look, if Ramsay gets back here before through before this mess is cleaned up, then we could be my ass is going to be on the line. I
Oh,
can't.
don't worry about Chef Ramsay. I hear him yelling 2 kitchens down.
Oh, just.
And he just ambles over to the replicator with his toolkit, like knee deep in cream cheese with. So I'm recoiling at the idea of cream cheese with strawberries.
Okay. You pull open the panel and guess give me a reason and engineering roll. We'll call this difficulty of 1.
I would assume replicator repair supplies.
They most certainly do. Okay. Well, thankfully, Demak is feeling just confident enough for that. And
Well, I must say the cream cheese in the circuits is not helping.
yes, it seems indeed as though during one of the last uses of the replicator, which you would guess was not cream cheese, but something else. Somebody might have tried to actually skip a step and or rather, might have realized a dish was running behind and replicated a pot of boiling water, um, which would.
I see. They have triggered the Chef Ramsay failsafe.
Well,
He
what?
specifically asked for that to be installed.
Yeah, it is either that or the fact that there were some of the water may have spilled out, and water in the EPS grid, which it seems to have slipped through a bit of the conduit, that can be pretty corrosive. So it undoubtedly would have worked its way into an isolinear processor, and that.
He's like it's like talking to the kitchen staff that may or may not be behind him. He hasn't checked. And he's like, "You see, the problem is you replicated the water without the kettle. It's a rookie mistake, really. Rookie mistake."
Yeah, it's like you realize the replicator is part of the Ramsay failsafe is that any use of the replicator requires very exacting words. So, be pot of boiling water with specific temperature thing, whereas somebody just said boiling water, such and such degrees. Um, at this point, I think it would be perfectly appropriate for Ramsay to come in and see that one damned benzite knee deep in cream cheese overflowing from a replicator.
Who used the replicator?
I don't know yet, sir. I can check the protocols if you want.
Someone get a bucket and start cleaning up that slop.
You might need 2 buckets.
2 buckets to clean up that slop.
I'll as some of the chefs start moving around, a different Boolean gentleman who had been frantically trying to press the buttons earlier, um, just buries himself in. I'd say at this point, just trying to clean up a few of the dishes that are set up, and just trying to keep as low a profile as possible. Demak, you recall who this was, but
I
Ramsay
don't
obviously
think the
didn't.
mock would pick up on the social cues that he doesn't want to be found out. And he's checking the logs as soon as he has finished as soon as replicator stopped spewing cream cheese.
Spectacular. Give me a control and engineering, and for the fun of it, I'm going to spend 1 point of threat to increase your complication range to 2. The difficulty for this task I'm going to set as, let's call this, no, this is a simple repair, so I will simply call it 1. But hey, he's good for something, and you managed to repair the corroded bit of conduit. You replace the isolating processor and are able to disengage the replicator.
Excellent.
And that does earn you back some momentum. So let's see here. Oh. Okay, there we go. With that, the some of the kitchen staff begin setting to work with a mop and bucket as you rise up from the mess. Your pant legs very stained by the clumps of cream cheese and a bit
This is
odd
truly
bits of
horrifying.
smushed strawberries.
It's the most horrifying picture you ever painted in a Star Trek game.
Yep. Oh, and you have the full range of that too, Felix. So yeah.
So, seems that mess is over, sir. What do you want to do with all that cream cheese? It's a lot of cream cheese you made here.
And strawberries, and most of it's on the floor, so it's completely unusable.
Well, you always tell us your floors are spotless and you could eat from them.
Well, if you want to take some back to your quarters with you, you're welcome.
I mean, just grabs the hand of cream cheese and puts it in his uniform pocket. Just for the sheer horror of it. Seeing Chef Ramsay just recoil.
Yeah. The kitchen just stops for a moment.
So, while I'm down here, up here, anything else I can help you with?
Let's get out.
Of course, sir. Just ambles out.
Yep.
And don't tramp all the horrible cream cheese and strawberries through the carpets.
Just leaving footprints of cream cheese behind.
Oh.
Being in detail.
Yep.
Yes, another successful task.
Oh, spectacular. As if all of this weren't enough, Ramsay, at this point, an order comes in. Chef, word from the, word from the special chef's table. I am sorry about this one. And he hands you a list. It is just the simplest of plomic soups.
Just a plomic soup.
Yes.
No side order, no extra garnishes, just a plomic soup.
He has dietary requirements saying that anything else with more flavor would possibly set him off.
I don't want to set anyone off, so a nice simple bowl of plomic soup.
As you call out to one of the cooks who is not doing anything save for washing dishes at the moment, he almost reflexively walks towards the replicator, thinking better of it, but not before stepping on a bit of cream cheese that has slid out and winds up taking a slip and fall on the floor.
Cream cheese.
Yes, it's quite awful. The dice rolls were not friendly to anyone's state of mind.
That wasn't an active decision.
Oh, it was in the table. Anyway, yeah. Suffice to say, the day stretches on, and for it, you get much of the same throughout the day. Ramsay, there's bits of minor errors and mistakes that crop up over the course of the day, which you correct. In all likelihood, the kitchen will probably meet its usual 20% attrition rate, and you will be getting new staff on the next port. But you can only hope that it will go a little smoother. For Julie Sunshine, the array of customer complaints and queries will continue coming, although none will be quite as bad as your brief encounter with Karen, who probably tested quite a bit of your patience she tested quite a few of the mantras and protocols that you had before, but you've been trained to deal with angry customers.
Well, and that was the toughest one, and it occurred at the beginning of the day. So the rest of the day is kind of easy. I keep some of my coupons to, the stuff they give me to keep the customers happy. Well, wouldn't you like a coupon for the day or what have you? And if I need to focus myself, I calm myself and send myself to the customer service Zen garden in my brain, where I prepare myself for my next customer service encounter.
Indeed, indeed. Um, Celeste, for your part, there are no.
So I, I,
Go ahead.
I will make a moment of saying that because I've been pointed out, she will try to keep appearances that she's involved, but will actually try and maneuver herself where she is not in front of the customers more often today. Um, just give a smile, give a wave, give a quick pass through, and then just disappear as if she's involved in something else.
I gotcha.
But you're saying, sorry.
So, with that, with your statement in mind, you will continue at least supervising some of the workouts or workout programs that happen through the day. I imagine the cruise line has partly taken advantage of your presence insofar as maybe they there's like probably some for a few slips of latinum, or maybe strips. They will get the occasional bit of someone will sell the occasional bit of they'll sell the occasional like rubber foam batleth or something of the sort. A few tchotchkes like that. It's like
Yeah.
maybe even like a photograph or a small photographic or holographic recreation that, although you were never in close enough proximity to take a photo with them, they are still they still get a small shot with you, basically, or it makes it look as though they were right next to you.
Which probably require persuasion from our higher ups.
Yeah.
Pretty diligent persuasions, because no way in hell was she okay with that.
Mm. When
But
they when
yeah,
they when they found out the situation, you may have gotten a good pay bump for it.
yeah. I mean, like I'm sure it's really her issues are very well known. Just Yeah, as long as the customers don't know, that's all that matters.
Yep, fair enough, fair enough. So, and then Demonk, there is there are sundry issues that you are set to repair today. Although you are briefly diverted from your tasks by a member of management who asks you very nicely to go and change your pants as the cream cheese begins to smell after a stretch of time in the open air and room
But sir,
temperature.
I have so much to do. The list is a billion long.
Oh, you'll just get the Democ, do this or do this or I would have grounds to put you out the airlock.
What again, sir? All right.
Yeah. Yeah. At least they do you the at least they managed to do you the kindness of sending you out with an EV suit. But one that's not had a good maintenance log in a while, so there's always a chance of something going wrong.
Yes, it's truly ironic that I'm also responsible for EV suit maintenance.
Oh, spectacular. I have to mute the mic for a moment because I truly missed a mock. Oh,
Sure corrected too.
yep.
Oh,
Anyway,
absolutely.
it is actually near the end of the day that a maintenance request is put in on a segment of the island area, one that indicates that there's the prospect of slight gravitational areas near the bar segment of the island recreation. So it has been, for the time being, cordoned off while customers are diverted away to other areas. It is probably not something you could get to before the end of the day, but you might at least be able to get a jump on the problem. Um,
Yeah.
so you make your way there. I would say uh, the restriction only applies to customers, rather the passengers proper. There is indeed the opportunity for some staff to be there, and I would think by the time that you would make it there, there are shift changes, which would allow one Ms. Julie Sunshine to also be down in that bar area.
Well, that would be an area I would be found in. If that is where the customers are, that is where I am.
Well, they certainly aren't there, but that doesn't mean there aren't people in need.
Well, then I'm there.
Yep. Speaking of,
This is the bar, right? The for the employees, or I'm sorry.
it would normally just be normally it would just be a customer bar, but given the employee area is not quite as comfortable, and since I would say that there's an implicit understanding that when things go awry in this area, and the cordons are up, it is such that employees have been known to be able to go and get a good stiff drink.
Yep, Kalas is hiding in there. Yes,
Yep.
Well, then I'll come in and
overpaid.
make some stiff drinks for people. I will head on behind the bar and the magic will begin as bottles spin and things move around and
Yep. Yep. Um, Ramsay, for the sake of bringing everyone together, could I interest you in also being there?
A drink won't go amiss.
Yeah. I'd say that in all likelihood, the remainder of the kitchen staff, or like as it begins, after you get through sort of last meals of the day, um, there's a changeover to basically a night crew sort of thing for the odd requests, things that don't require your level of supervision, but whom you can trust to do anything more complicated than what a replicator would handle, if it comes to that. Something for maybe the handful of not more nocturnal species that prefer the night mode of the ship. Um, so you would get a chance to join them as well. Um, the remainder, I think, of your kitchen crew probably just stuck down to the employee bar, partly because they would probably prefer to have time to themselves as opposed to the being under your watchful eye. It's not always the case, but today was one of those days after the cream cheese incident.
Yeah, understandable.
I know some of these people, so I'll mix a wild warg for the Klingon, and for our maintenance engineer, I might have an idea of what he might like, so I'm mixing up.
Actually, she would like a nice Orion wine.
I'd read that, because I am the only empathic, telepathic bartender in the Star Trek universe. It's in front of you and slides up you. You know, she slides it down the bar, the bar, and just it stops right in front of you without spilling a drop.
She'll just stiffen up and then just give a small smile. Thank you.
Yep.
And daintily, and not like a Klingon at all, but certainly like a princess, she just sort of just takes the glass and takes a careful sip.
Chef, what would Ramsay be here for at this point? What do you think it'd be to his taste?
Probably some kind of scotch.
That's what I thought. So I'll carefully, based on my experience and read of him, I will put together the best Scotch drink he has had and slide it down to him.
Thank you, Julie.
My pleasure.
Democ comes in with a clean set of trousers from when at least you would have seen him earlier in the day, Ramsay. Um, is he thinking of a particular booze that he would want right about now?
Can't remember if Demok ever drank.
I don't think he.
Never, probably never was a good idea if he did, but never stopped us in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he has a particular drink in mind. But he always seems to be happy with whatever you suggest. He's that kind of
Okay.
customer.
Then she'll throw something new at you, a Risian sunrise variant with a little, cocktail, umbrella on it.
Oh, sir, phenomenal!
Yep.
Exactly what I wanted. He has no idea what it is.
As she slides it to you, you realize, oh, that's what the gravitational issue was. When the drink actually floats above like where your hand would be to reach it from the bar, it floats above you, arcs downward back onto the bar, and slides off and out into the beach area.
Oh no, my drink!
Oh, I'll have to make him another one.
Yep.
I slid too far.
Well, at least I know where the problem is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it just like a local problem, or would the controls be somewhere else?
You would guess that there's a localized issue in one of the artificial gravity generators, so it would probably actually be underneath the bar. There's a
That's
panel you'd have to get at.
exactly what I was hoping for. So he just unceremoniously crawls beneath the bar, just legs sticking out.
And I'm making his replacement drink and setting it in the spot.
Yep. So the four of you are going about your evening. Eventually, the bar winds down to where it is just your group. And Democ, you think you finally have the gravity generator about where you want it. when there's a very slight buffeting or slight rumble that each of you feel. You notice also in the tremble of your drinks. It's only for about a second, but there it is nonetheless.
I saw the surface of a drink ripple. Is that what I saw?
Pretty much. And you might
It's
have.
like it's just a moment of silence, and that wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Nope.
I think. Could we have been docked? Could somebody have docked with us? Does that's the type of drink disturbance I see during dockings?
Um,
Remember, I
not
interpret everything through the use of alcohol.
yes, not usually. This type of disruption is odd insofar as there is the inertial dampeners are generally pretty good at keeping all of that under control.
I'll look down at our maintenance engineer. That was kind of an odd jostle. The drinks don't usually react like that.
Can I identify that jostle just by the rumbling?
Uh, you don't recognize it as any sort of usual internal problem, though you'd guess maybe there was some sort of subspace interference. Uh, it is at this point that the familiar, annoying, toned announcement system goes up. Oh, good evening. This is your captain speaking. Apologies for the slight rumble. We're just aiming to reverse course very slightly. We seem to have just viewed a rather interesting looking little subspace. What the hell is that? Just tell you what. Tell me about it when get us on Savak if you can, but don't worry about like too much. Just back us off, get us around, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna hit the head of. Oh shit, is the comm line still on? God damn it. Hey, folks, give us just 1 minute here and we'll be back on our way. I'll get the warp drive back online and get everything all set up. And
You think he got made captain just by winning the position in a lucky draw?
you wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that certainly assured me.
Kalas
Yeah,
will just
I imagine it would.
I can feel Greg's pain. I apologize for nothing.
Alright. Um, Demark, it does occur to you that if you so wish, you do have access to the external sensors, so you could pull something up on a pad if you so wished.
I mean, sure.
Yep.
While I'm still stuck under the bar.
I'll
Yeah, while
hand
I'm
him
here,
the
I
pad.
could just.
I'll hand him my pad so he can access it. I know what these guys can do.
Oh, thank you.
Chaos will just slide over her now empty drink and say, can I please?"
One more?
Mm.
Sure. The bottles come out, they spin in her hands, and she whips it up again and although slides it by hand because of the gravitational, he's working on the grav system in the area.
Because of your caution, I will not ask you to make a roll and will not spend the threat to risk complicating it.
Right.
Yep. But as this is happening, Democ, on both pads, you are able to pull up an external view. The ship appears to have encountered some sort of tear in space, is like the best visual that you could get to it.
That's an anomaly if I've ever seen one.
It is indeed, and as the vessel's making its way around, something lands, like a bit of light lances out from it and connects with the exotic matter solar sails on either wing of the ship. And there is a great deal more rumbling as the artificial atmospheric setup in terms of the lighting fritzes for a moment, bathing you all in an array like moments of bright light before settling back into darkness. Um, and that is where I think we let's see. Oh, sorry, I misread something. There is another great rumble, and it is in that moment I think that the gravity for a moment feels a bit stranger, whether Demok's fault or not, and it momentarily wrests you from consciousness. Or
All of us?
yes,
Uh-oh.
as you come to, the bar is a bit askance. Anyone who would look at their chronometer sees that not much time has passed. It's probably only been just a few minutes since whatever contact happened was made. Demok, the external sensors are no longer displaying anything. There are only partial bits of illumination in the sort of artificial atmosphere of the island area, which, for a sense of the recreation, I suppose I realize that I was looking through here and I realized it hasn't moved anyone to that particular set. So apologies to the audience. I had no intention of depriving you of a nice, lovely set. So let's see if Roll20 shall cooperate on this one. It does seem to be freezing up on me, so I'll just try to give a description here. In a normal day, the island, uh, this would be a recreation of a tropical island that is a very small sort of resort area for um, tourists that would visit Riza. This is probably a slightly scaled down version, but enough to include a few dynamic features, some tall rock faces, a very lovely beach area with water spreading out a good ways, such that there's ample shoreline for a bit of sort of hoverboarding, canoeing, other just bits of swimming. The water is always a pristine blue and perfectly balanced for uh, most species to be able to go and swim. There's very dense foliage, although no real uh, no real wildlife in terms of fauna. Anything there tends to be more simulated. Holographic, that is, as there are some emitters in the area to create an atmosphere of something normal. Uh, the bar area that you were on is on a separate structure away from the sort of main resort setup, roughly like a roughly two-story affair that stretches it a bit to the island. Something that the decks will accommodate and comfortably. But the bar is more of a sort of side bungalow type thing, or at least made to look that way. It is fully stocked with all manner of actual bottles as well as replicators for occasional usage. Uh, and on a normal day, it would probably still be packed at this time. It would be represented as later in the evening, but because of the situation, obviously, it was relatively empty. Uh, at this point, the lighting system is such that um, there are areas that just appear to be, they just give the appearance of being completely blacked out. If you were to shine the light, you might notice some slight segmentation in the panels. But others, kind of nearer the artificial horizon that they're creating, give just the sense of a deep pinkish purple, dusky sort of feel to it. So you have some lights there, you have some emergency lighting units, I think, at this point that would come back on the in the bar, something that simulates maybe more candle or torch light, gentle enough for you to be able to see.
So we were knocked unconscious.
Yes, for just a few moments. You basically felt the sensation of intense G-force for a moment.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yes, after whatever lanced out. And that was enough to throw you around out of your seats and to the floor. Or in Demok's case, just jostle him around under the bar table.
Looking at the ship's computer, it registered that G-force.
The computer terminal in the bar area is non-responsive.
Okay, got it.
She'll sit herself up, dust herself off. Is everyone okay?
Yeah, the computers are down.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I hurt my head.
Great loss.
I'll give you some ice in a in a towel.
Do we have out of character? Do we have communicators, like comm
There,
badges of sorts?
um, this ship might have sprung for some sort of either wrist communication thing or possibly something on your name tags, which would allow you to generally make contact.
I will tab the communicator. Uh, Kid, it's coordinator to bridge. Something. What happened?
There is no answer on the line.
Hello?
They could all have been knocked out there too.
If it was strong enough to knock us out, it was probably strong enough to knock them out.
We we should check the guests
Absolutely.
and possibly ev- eva- abandon ship. Maybe.
Get a
Well,
warning.
there's no been abandoned ship order, and nothing seems to be going wrong at the minute.
Could you check to see if there's any breaches anywhere?
I mean, is the system responsive when I'm like directly in the panel?
There's some there's some like local response to systems, but it is the way things are at the moment. It seems as though the main network is non-responsive right now. Though
I'm
if
not getting any sensor readings.
no, the external sensors appear to be completely offline.
Okay, so we're up on the big island deck, which has got a lot of windows. Can we see out of those windows to see if there's any damage on either the port or the starboard side of the ship?
Uh, I actual So I think that this may be miscommunication on my part. The island setup has a sort of artificial horizon, so it's actually
Oh,
meant to seem more self-contained. Um,
okay.
I'm going to check out the rest of this. Like, look around this my section of the ship, more or less, because I'm definitely familiar with this place. Is there anything different? Is power still working? Gravity still working? Water going the direction it's supposed to? Any guests that are stuck? Any voices over the horizon, as it were?
hmm. Give me an insight and security roll, please.
Okay. Insight and security. I have nothing there. Can I steal a momentum? you guys?
Yeah.
And I get third die, and let's go. Two
Okay.
successes.
So with that, I'm going to say that first you can discern immediately that the ship does not. There are definitely some obvious elements of signs of damage or non-functionality. Very specifically, the lack of function with the lighting system that would normally produce parts of the artificial horizon. Some of it seems to be blacked out, which would indicate some sort of power surge. Uh, at least that would be your guess. You aren't the engineer necessarily, but that's definitely an odd and troubling sign. Your immediate area doesn't have a lot of people, however, you do hear distant sort of cries out from the sort of main resort area where undoubtedly there were still a number of people, either probably not catching any artificial sun at this point, but possibly enjoying a nice evening on the beach. Maybe a few that were doing some approved activities, like for areas that were illuminated. There might have been a couple power boarders still out there, and of course there would have been people at the resort. Um, so you maybe get the slight signs of confusion.
Perhaps since we're in my uh, floor, we could find the rest of my uh, people and find coordinate. She says to the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Certainly.
No, that sounds like a legitimate move. Let's find the rest of your people, and I'll set up some drinks for anybody that's coming, off the beach or anything to relax them on the house.
My people can. They're very capable of calming people here. And they're we. Mm-hmm.
Cutting off your attempt at explaining the
No worries.
situation. Yeah, there's a bit of a whine over the comm badge as the channel line was still open. Hello, hello, anybody there? Hello.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We're here.
Oh, uh, that's good. Sorry. I think I hit the door. I broke my nose. I don't have a thermal generator. I think I'm stuck in the broom closet. Uh,
The
this
what?
this is your
Who's
captain speaking.
speaking? Oh god.
Yeah. I've got some partial access to the computer system still, but whatever interacted with us is causing problems. Most of I can honestly probably get us away from whatever this is without it, but I need anyone who can hear me here to give us some help. We main power systems seem to be on the fritz, but there's a lot of redundancy. There's a lot of redundancies, a lot of backup power systems we have, but they're all tied into the Hollis suites and the like some of the amenities levels. We need some of that just tweaked away and need some of it diverted so that we can actually get power back to the engines and see if we can limp away from this thing. Who am I talking to right now?
You've come through to the island resort. This
Through
is head chef Ramsey and
Who's
the concierge
Oh God.
Julie Sunshine. We got a Demock here. And there's a K list too.
You're through my combat, sir.
Right. The honor and glory to you, all that. Oh, sorry, shouting hurts.
Yeah, could you maybe just keep to the point and tell us what we might be able to help do,
Sure thing,
Captain?
Chef. If you could just tell you what, you got a technician with you? Oh, you got.
We do, yes.
It's Demarc, isn't it?
Yes, it's Demarc, sir.
Oh,
He remembers my name.
What an honor.
okay. Listen very carefully. Demarc, I need you to to free up some of the power from the holosuites and the amenities levels. I don't want you to dump all the power into engines right away. Uh, you know, I'm going to assign this team here to your coworkers here. They're gonna help you, and they're gonna make sure that everything goes okay. So, you have any questions, you listen to them. All right?
No, definitely.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now I should let you know. This just keep an eye open on for some of the passengers. I'm particularly I'll admit I'm a little concerned. You know that program we got going with Starfleet Medical, where we're taking up some of the we're taking some crew and personnel that need a mandatory shore leave, essentially.
Yeah, all those workaholics.
I met. Yes.
Okay, well, if you see them, make sure that they're calm. We only had a few cases this time, but they were some of Starfleet's finest captains. But
Oh god, they're going to be trying to take command of this situation, aren't they?
There was.
They're going to try to rescue the ship, doing some ludicrous, idiotic Starfleet stuff.
The one I met seemed nice. I thought I was a hologram.
They're all nice. They're all fantastic, right up until the point you get them into a life and death situation.
And then they'll get us all killed. I know how those Starfleet people are.
Yeah, exactly.
She spits into the sink like she doesn't like.
Exactly. Miss Sunshine
I got
gets
a question. Have we met Sunshine's darker side? Like
you just did. She's gone a little dark, you know, the lighting's a little changed. Like, you know, like she's all just customer service and bubbly and you know, but she's
Demarc, could you fix the lighting above Julie there?
Oh, yes, sir. I switched it to ominous for some reason.
Yep. Unfortunately, she's still coming in at Dutch angles.
The ship appears to be listing.
these Starfleet types will try to rescue everybody. They'll end up costing extra lives and our customers.
Well, if you see them, try to give them some assurances that everything's okay. Make sure they don't do any make sure
Absolutely.
they don't do any damage.
Yes, absolutely, sir.
All right. I'm gonna try and
Get a
reduce.
doctor.
I'll see if I can find a dermal regenerator in this closet.
Oh yeah, a dermal regenerator. That'll do that'll repair a concussion.
I hope so.
That's sarcasm. It won't.
I might just sleep for a little while.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good night.
And with that, the line cuts out.
Well, if he's passed out, that means the leadership on board this ship has dramatically improved.
Let's go see if we can get that power routed.
Yes. Go on, Mark.
There,
Yes, sir.
Says
we
your time
can
to shine.
we can skip most of this floor by getting jetpacks. They're over here.
Jetpacks.
Great.
Do I look like someone who wants to do a jetpack?
Do you rather want to climb through still deep waters and mountainous terrain? She says, gesturing to the freaking the built-in mountain.
Fine, let's do the jetpack.
Okay, and I
I
believe
mean, what
this.
could possibly go wrong?
That is a talent I
We'll
have.
crash into the mountain and die.
Well, let's hope we'd rather not do that.
Once per scene, I may reduce the cost of creating an advantage in one momentum when you seek to acquire such gear. So I am helping us navigate this place by and avoiding any trouble by getting us walking over to the one of the many storage places that are on this floor to grab us a set of jetpacks.
Yep, and that is within K-List's purview as the extreme sports coordinator. I believe.
I'm going to go ahead and take a paring knife that's used to cut, fruit and stuff for drinks, just so I'm armed.
What are
And
you
maybe
expecting to encounter?
We can't harm anyone.
you don't know, we could have pirates on board. This could be a boarding. I've been in a situation like this. 500 people died when I was a kid. I'm
She
just
just whatever color is on that has on her tanned face just pales, just sudden pales. Oh,
Well, it's not a pirate thing, it's a weird anomaly
but
thing.
what if it is a pirate thing?
A weird pirate thing and a weird anomaly thing.
It's probably just a weird anomaly thing, but it could be that it's being exploited by somebody. Having a little protection along is just fine. Plus, it's under 3 inches, which by naval law doesn't have weapons. I'm good.
If it's anything like my grandmother, I maybe I should just stay here. He says,
No,
You're the extreme sports coordinator. You need to fly us up there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Good, then you can fly us up
Then you
there.
can fly us up there.
But
And look, I'm not playing around. I'm going to get one of those sporky long things that the bartenders have that I have no idea personally what they use them for. I think they're like stirs or something, but they're pretty strong, so that could be used to bar it or something.
I'm sure that any of my my subordinates can help you with that. I'll just
No, we need pro help. I'm going to grab a...
K-Lest, you're the best person for using jetpacks, right? Because if you can't take us up there, then we're going to have to walk up there.
And in that time period, how we could lose customers, we need to get up there fast. And before
where are the customers going to... Oh, I suppose it could die. Necessarily
fine,
a bad thing.
Fine. She says with like teeth. Fine. Okay. So let's get going then, and everything will be fine.
Yep.
And we'll just go.
Okay. So,
focus on your breathing. She sort of makes like a meditative gesture for you, like they would down in the the wellness classes that the ship offers.
Ah,
So with the 1 momentum you spent, you acquire the jetpacks there, and I am going to ask you to give me a control and con roll, and each of you may roll an assist die. However, and this will be across the board for everyone's dice pool, I am dropping 1 threat to increase the complication range by 1.
okay.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah.
Control, con.
yep. Difficulty will be
Um,
2. Or actually, since you're navigating the whole bunch of them, and the situation has unnerved you, I'm going to increase it to 3.
Okay.
I'm going
We'll,
to
we'll be
try and
fine.
I'm gonna try and make this as short as possible, and it's gonna be one hard leap. I'm gonna try to change this roll into a daring con.
I will accept that. I feel like there should hmm, given the state you are in and everything, I would you accept increasing the complication range for your own personal roll to 3, given how nervous you are at this point?
Sure, I'll take it. Yeah,
Okay.
complication to 3, and then I have no focus for this. I also have endurance training, which I don't think that works. So let's go with. I will take another momentum, if you don't mind, so I can bring that up to 3 dice.
Okay.
And let's go.
So, narrative or threat for that complication, first and foremost.
Threat. Threat. Add more threat.
That
Also, anybody gonna assist in this?
Yeah, if you need some assistance, I'll assist you.
yeah.
Control control con, right? To assist.
I
Yes.
said dare. I
Or
switched over to
daring
daring
and
con.
so the rest of you could roll control and con, but you could alternatively embrace the daring side. So
Well, I'm going to just assist with control and con. Um, there we go. There's my. So, oops, that was
oh,
2 dice. Sorry.
I'll just
Assist.
take
Yeah,
the
take.
1 die. So um, I will say that everyone does decently well with the momentum. I am going to take the 2 threat that I would have got and put that back into some japery as a complication. Uh, everything seems to be starting off very well when Demok's pack actually goes into an overcharged mode and sends him zipping around until he flies around a corner, or like behind a rock, and there is an explode. There's a very large explosion from behind
Whoa.
the rock.
Oh no, it seems as I'm going ahead.
Crap. Well, I was grabbing the first aid kit anyway, so I grabbed some first aid kit and some ever important bar towels, which can be used as tourniquets. So I'm gonna race over to him in case he's been injured.
Yeah, I'll do the same. I've got first aid at a focus.
Ah, fuck! I'm alone now. Go
Uh,
ahead.
Well, keep up then, Kate.
No. She went ahead. She jumped forward.
Oh well. Bye.
Everybody else slowed down to go rescue somebody. Now I'm like landed. I'm probably the only one there.
Alright, with the monsters closing in.
Spectacular. Anyway, the 2 of you arrive and you find just a bombed out crater, something far too large for the explosion that like for what should have been possible. Indeed, you didn't think that the jetpacks had any sort of antimatter in them, but there's standing just next to the crater, uniform only slightly a tatter, and maybe a bit of that sort of black bit of carbon scoring around his face, Democ looks out to the crash site with no jetpack.
Hello, sirs.
You okay?
I think so. Everything's detached.
Okay, that's what's important in a situation like that.
Oh,
Julie's lost all of her like sunshine. She's like dealing with this whole situation like a serious person would. And if you want, I'll try to grab you and courier you up to where we're supposed to be. You ready?
I believe that. Ah!
Okay, now before I take him, I want to do, well, I've been doing okay with this jetpack thing. I'll spend a momentum. How much momentum do we have?
Well, you should still have, I think. Well, actually, wait. You would have gotten
We have
it.
3.
Yeah, you had 3 from
Oh,
that,
boy.
but you would have gotten some back because everybody scored a success. So that would still be 1 momentum that is floating around yet to be assigned.
Okay. So I'm going to do Control Con, and I will add 1 momentum for that, just to make sure we both get up there safely. And before we do it, I'll computer model the flight. So bear that in mind. I'm using a data pad to help us plan it.
Okay. Well, with that, I think that easily catches them up, and I would say that you get Ramsey and Democ up. It is a slight bit slower the way you go between the planning and having to hoist this benzite up. You probably also get an intermittent, faint chlorine smell from the chest attachment that he has that sprays a very
Oh, it's
slight
fine.
bit of the gas into his face. So it's not the best sensation, but it's not at a toxic level.
Right.
So you make your way up to the rendezvous site where for our purposes, I presume the intention was to get to some sort of access junction or something that would at least
Yeah.
make it easier to get to a door, basically, to get down.
Yeah.
Uh, Panda?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What?
I was just double checking here. The idea was to essentially go to the idea was to find a location that would get you uh, out of the island resort area and into like essentially get you to the other areas that you need to go.
Yep.
Okay, so
I
the,
did I did 1 burst and everybody else doing control, stable sort of flights. I'm just literally jumping there.
yep. So the question comes up. Well, first the rest of the crew arrives, or the rest of your little makeshift team, that is. They arrive on site. Democ for what looked like it happened. He seems relatively unscathed, like a whole new man in some ways.
oh, good.
The mark number 6 now. Um,
I have
Let's
actually.
just,
He is number
yeah.
5 now, actually.
Don't worry. We are hard to kill. I mean, what?
Easy to kill, easy to replace.
When 1 falls, 2 take its place.
Oh, yeah. Ramsay it calls back to mind an incident in the kitchen, um, where you first learned that principle with so far as Democ is concerned. In any case,
With the oil and the fire. Yes.
Yes. And that is why it
Took an age to get that smell out of that kitchen.
yep. And at least two
So,
more democks.
so what is the state like when we reach the other location? What is the state of the place?
So I'm going to say there are probably a couple points of entry or exit. Some that are more customer facing, others uh, that are more employee friendly. Areas that would allow you to access bowels of the ship. I will give you the option to decide which one you are airing towards.
We need to go. We need to like get the power from the holodecks, right? So, whichever direction that leads to the more prominent section, the section with the most holodecks.
Okay.
Um, whatever direction that would be, whatever shortest direction that would be.
So I will give you an option to at least bypass some of the throngs of people by taking a more employee-centered route. But during your burst to get you over that, you do see people swarming one of the entry points where customers would or passengers would be normally moving through, and it just seems quite a
I
mess.
Yep, I will maneuver to land right in the middle of them. Uh, and try to give my bravest bravado personality I can here. Um, because it looks completely uncontrollable, right? This crowd.
Yep, there's no rhyme or reason to them right now.
And I will land in a 3-point landing and stand up and I'll shout, "Where are you going? This is not, well, I understand it for everyone's safety that you wish to be in your rooms. This is not acceptable. You've shown courage in other activities. Surely you can by simply reaching your place in an orderly manner." I'm gonna try to inspire them to stop fucking panicking and just show a brave face and just smoothly help out people.
Okay, I will I will allow you to make a presence roll, and you will have your choice of command or security.
Let's do security, and inspiration. Um, all right, so we have a full momentum pool right now due
Uh,
to earlier or what? We still only have three.
After I would say that it's still only three. That or you earned one when everyone was rolling, and then that got spent back into
Right. Okay. Yep. All right. Cool. I'm just going to make a roll and see how it goes.
okay.
Two.
I think with two successes, I will say that the sudden arrival of a Klingon warrior, or someone that has the
Klingon
appearance of
warrior princess. Mm-hmm.
yes,
Yeah.
the arrival of a Klingon warrior princess decked in this full gear is enough to first, of course, have a certain amount of shock value, but it is also such that the crew, or rather the passengers, like you command their attention completely, and they they just go quiet, and they'll think some of them will start ambling about, others looking at their feet, and they'll start. Some will start actually just walking towards the beach. Others will move in a more orderly manner. Some will actually back up as some people are trying to come into the area, but the calming effect kind of goes out in a wave around the area. So you've effectively cleared the way for you to make it in through this manner, and you have the passengers very calm now.
Yes. Yes. don't just be selfish. Help out your comrades. This is certainly a test of endurance, even in times of relaxation. We must understand and work as a family. And she'll just tap her communicator. This is the princess to the rest of the staff. I've made a passage here a lot more acceptable, she says in her typical haughty worker voice.
Work, okay.
Yes.
And yeah, you find your way. You're able to find your way then down to the. You're all able to find your way down to this passage and start making your way through the like down to the holosuites.
Once we're near the hall suites, KLS will just lean against the wall, grab her knees, and just take deep breaths.
You did good work back there.
Good work. You calmed those customers down.
So many people. So many people. Oh, I'm looking. Oh, just getting so close.
Yep. All right, we'll get you some drinks after all this is done.
I'll brew you up something special once we've got this all taken care of.
So, with a bit of assurance and with a few moments to recover, you make your way down to the holosuites, and when you arrive there, you find all of the doors seem to be. Or rather, there are some people standing outside the holosuites. Some of them are trying to pry open the doors, but all of the arches are unresponsive to them. And you might even hear some pounding on a couple of them from the other side. And somebody says, "Oh, do you work here?"
Yes, we do.
A slightly shorter Zindi primate gentleman comes up. He seems to be dressed in what you would guess is medieval Earth-style garb. Oh, that's good. It's uh, well, it's obviously not important now. But we don't know what's going on. But we were trying to enter Hollow Suites. Ours was set to be the next adventure when um, another party was going to come out, but the doors all went into a sort of lockdown, and well, one person made their way through one of them. I guess it was just as things started to go a little bit crazy. I don't know, but she made her way there pretty quickly, and after that, all the doors except for that one have locked up. He gestures to one down near the end of the hall.
Well, we're here to take care of the power issue that's behind all this. So let us get to work.
Wait, there's people trapped inside the holodecks.
Yeah, we might. Do you think we should try to cut them out first?
I mean, holodecks have got a perfect safety record, right?
That was my thinking. The only thing is, the doors are jammed. I mean, when we shut the power off, it should shut the hollow imagery there off. It should be safe, right?
Yeah, I suppose, but how long will it take us to shut off the power?
Also, they're not great safety record.
No, they don't.
What-
I was being sarcastic.
What power do you want? You just want to shut off the power of the holodeck, or
Your
We
specific
should-
orders were to redirect power from the holosuites into.
yes, all to the engines. I remember.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
Well, you could open the doors and then redirect the power. That would, I think, be the way to go.
She nods.
That's my suggestion.
Though we she like flushes deep red, looks away. We should probably make sure they're good to leave.
well, we'll just open the doors. That way they can come out if they want to or when they're ready. We don't look inside.
I mean, if you just shut off the holodecks, then they have time to collect themselves before they come out.
Seems reasonable.
But
I
that
see no
might
problem whatsoever with this plan.
but if we divert power, it might remove the safety features
That's true.
first.
Let's just shut them down. So there isn't a, I don't know, dinosaur which is trying to eat them or something.
Well, let's just open
And
the doors
then we
first,
can,
and then
yeah.
open the doors first, and then shut them down. So if there's no problems with safety features.
Is there
Yeah.
any mechanism to speak into the hollow suites? Like, is there like a safety thing? There's probably some kind of like announcement you can give to people in the hollow suites. Can we activate that?
You could attempt to do any number of these things just by going up to the control panel, or even just basically tearing away one of the panels over the or like a bit of the or not conduit, but you know, basically tearing away parts of the display and accessing the computer system beneath.
Um,
Do we want to send them a message before we shut everything down?
No, I don't see why we should.
You're in charge. You're the maintenance technician.
you're the concierge.
Okay,
You're you're
I
our
agree.
boss.
Let's let them know. Usually, concierge always has a policy of letting customers know. So I'll press the thing and go. This is concierge sunshine. I'm letting you know that we're going to be shutting the power to the hollow suites. So please prepare yourselves so that we can extricate you.
As you attempt to send the message, you find there is a buzz on the line. It seems that the comms are either non-functional here or are being jammed in some manner.
Comms are either non-functional or jammed.
Then I guess she just motions for like her hands and sort of like opening a door.
Yeah, exactly. We just shut everything off. This is more emergency response.
Shutting things off take time, right? Looks like a day
How
block.
how difficult is it to turn off the holodecks? Or how is the ship organized? Is it just like one area where they're holodecks, or are they all over the place?
I imagine they're all over the place. This is a pleasure cruise. Zach,
Sorry, just one moment.
all right.
Okay, sorry about that. So, Dimok, under normal circumstances, if your aim is just to cut power here, um, you could probably access some of the systems from the external arches and find a way to safely disengage them. Circumstances are here anything but normal, so it might take a diagnostic task just to assess and see how the holodecks are presently set up, whether the system would be so permissive as to let you um, just shut it down as easily.
Can I assist since holodecks are my thing? Or supposed to be my thing as well.
Yeah.
I have a question from the off field basically. I have the talent procedural compliance,
Could you
so I
define what that
know
is?
I know how the engineering principles of this ship work. Is there something I could just trigger that automatically shuts off the holodecks?
I would say that generally speaking, yes, there is indeed such a protocol for you to be able to access. So long as the commands so long as the command system is still functioning properly.
So I don't know. I make the system believe there is weird particle storm that interferes with holodeck technology, as seen as in the Next Generation episodes 47, 218, and 57. And thus, just procedure is that it just automatically turns off the holodecks to avoid any complications,
That would
or
be
something along those lines.
an ideal thing to attempt, and you may certainly try it.
Could I just do this from anywhere, or do I need to be any specific? That's really the important question, I guess.
Okay, so generally speaking, if a protocol like that comes up, if the computers were functioning properly, you could do that with a voice command. You could do that from one of the main alcoves. Worst case scenario, there are nodes inside the holodecks which you can disengage in order to reliably do that. It's rare, but sometimes that is an effective way to go about it.
Um, I mean, I would just write Jamak would just like, computer, is emergency procedure 70B Alpha 7 still available?
You just get a rude buzz from the computer, letting you know that it is not responding well to voice commands.
Well, don't do it the easy way. He pulls up his sleeves of his arms. Let me do it the hard way. It just goes to wherever I think I can pull this off and just take the panel off or whatever I have to do to get into the system and make the override manually.
Reason and engineering, please, and I will set the difficulty of this task to 2.
Be careful
And-
not to switch the power over into that relay. That relay, for some reason, defaults to the Death Race Extreme, which I don't.
Well,
I don't
see,
think it's-
currently I'm trying to just disable the holodeck. There is no distribution of power planned. Theoretically. If everything works
Right.
correctly. I'm sure it will be fine. What was the role again? Reason
and engineering, and Panda, if you did want to assist on that front.
Yeah, but that was my attempt at assist.
Yep.
Of like, hey, let's not do this one thing that will kill everybody in the other thing.
What's the?
Oh,
No,
no.
that's nonsense. No one will die. I'm at least 70% certain.
I guess I guess I'll spend a threat.
What's what's the difficulty?
The difficulty on this task 2, and the complication range is now 2. Dropping 1 for 2.
2.
So what was the roll? I'm sorry.
You can assist, I suppose, with since you're trying to give careful instructions, maybe control and command here.
Sure.
I just.
Oh god, this is terrible. Let's go. Let's do it. I managed it.
Everything's going according to plan. I just have to pull this isolinear chip. I don't know why we're still using them. And then I just beep, and theoretically all the holodecks should turn off. Like probably some alarm siren or some warning should automatically play theoretically, but
as it the system plays out instead in access denied tone, essentially. Demarcus, you try to find out why the emergency protocol didn't work. You realize that somebody has tied in all of the holosuite functions to one of them down at the end of the hall, and that they have restricted access within the nodes. Somebody is very proficient with holo technology, or is very used to shipboard holo technology, and has essentially sequestered off access to the main node inside that holosuite.
well,
So,
that's certainly rude.
yep.
Someone seemed to have hogged all the holodeck.
As someone who has to monitor these things, do I know who's the regular there?
Not as such. There isn't the particular batch of people that you've had, or out of the particular batch of people you might have had in here, so far as you can tell, it isn't an extreme sports program. It appears to be some other type of fantasy or science fiction thing going on, or that's how the program is classified from what you can see. And yeah, otherwise it's not a familiar thing. There actually seems to be modifications happening to the program as you go, or like as you watch it. bits
There,
of code getting added, as it were.
Ju- Julie, there's someone who's preventing us in the hall deck down there.
I don't suppose there's like a maintenance override or something like that. Or they have taken care of that as well.
There's somebody preventing us from taking over shutting down the power in one of the hollow suites. Is that correct?
Can I just reset the system to factory settings?
You might be able to do so, but as thoroughly as this has been locked out, you're probably going to need to do it from inside the node, or like at the node in the holodeck.
God damn it! Stop rail
There's
shuttling us.
also there's also something disturbing. It looks like somebody's jamming communication, but I'm no expert on this. But that was out of character GM. You had kind of said it looked like there was some jamming going on.
That was one possibility. It could just be
One
that the ship's communication system is on the fritz.
Okay. Yeah,
Well, it appears the only way to shut off the holodeck is to go in the holodeck. Always wanted to see one of those.
But it's illegal. Jesus.
What do you mean legal?
It's illegal unless permission.
We
But-
are under what do you call it? A crisis in space.
Emergency.
I think the Earth phrase you're looking for is where we go, we don't need no rules, sirs.
Yes. Yeah, that's about right.
Is that really human?
I don't know. I've seen it on Cinema Evening 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
on page 75 of the Rainbow's customer service guide, that during emergencies, crews are allowed to do what they need to protect the lives of customers.
All right. Okay. Let's go then.
Okay. And as you so you make your way towards the holosuite then?
Yeah, and I'm gonna take one of my bartending towels and tie it up and tie it samurai style across my forehead, because who knows what we'll be encountering.
All right. The door is as the Zindi gentleman mentioned, it is the one that is still able to open, although most people are staying away from it. You step through the arch, and you find it is as if a filter has come over your eyes, and everything is now, I would say, shaded very differently. There's a complete absence of color beyond black, white, and variations on gray here. There's certainly most noticeable, Kaelist, with your suit, which is always a bit of colorful wear. And the area around you seems to be fairly rocky. It almost seems to be cave-like, although it does open up into a grayish white sky. You think you could discern some clouds out in the distance, but the entry into this monochromatic environment is eerily still for a time, until you hear a very sort of mechanical noise. That is to say, the moving of gears and the crash against the ground of something heavy just pounding into it, and it soon becomes clear what that is. For rounding from one of the rolling cave areas, there comes to be several robots that show up, or what you would guess to be that. They are roughly large capsule sized with varying arms that seem to have different bits of equipment. Some that resemble more claws, others more something drill wise, some that just have an unusual emitter like pattern. In the middle of them are a few seemingly humanoid figures with most unusual exaggerated guard. The lead one calls out, "Halt! In the name of Chaotica!" And I think that's where we should cut today's session for now.
Okay.
I have
Fine.
no concept of what's happening.
Okay, neither do the rest of us. I did bring my portable drink mixer,
Oh
so
god.
perhaps I can offer them a refreshing beverage.
Yes. Well, we will see how that goes next time. But yeah, for the time being, I think this is definitely the place to cut the session, and we will come back next week with the continuation of the Captain's Holiday Adventure. So until then, I hope all of you have enjoyed this little foray around a very different adventure in a very different time, a very different set of perspectives. Of course, you are more than welcome to join us again next week. If you didn't catch all of this stream, rest assured this will be up on the archive in the next couple days. But yes, I would encourage you, everyone, to just stay tuned. We will also be coming back with Broken Sword on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those that are able to view it. But yeah, till then, I think this is where we will call it for now. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. This is your GM in the Great Barrier, wishing you a good week.